Hello guys, today we have one more chief challenge with a free-to-play team to achieve 22 million or more. So this time we have the Chaos Shadows Lightning, the one that takes more 100% more radiant damage. So let's check the lineup I'm using. This one I don't think he is too hard, but you really need to have the new aura heroes. That's the trick here. And I have a couple more of tricks for this boss. So this boss is exactly the same thing as the ancient battlefield. It works exactly the same way. So it's going to get on the first form is going to be shield on a shield form. So it's going to do this lightning damage to the farthest enemy and inflicts stun for 5 seconds. If this debuff fails, it's going to get this backfire. Okay, so this backfire reduces the damage dealt by 20% and increases the damage taken by 20%. We want to make sure this happens. So this first part, that's why I have Quarren. For the farthest point from this here is the farthest one, so it's the one taking this skill, and he has a lot of resistance, as you guys can see. So I have resistance on his chest, I have resistance on the gems, I have resistance all over the place. I'm using ancestral protection, it gives more resistance, and it doesn't matter because this guy heals according with the target's max HP. So having more resistance on him will not do anything, will not affect his healing. And then I'm using, since I need some resistance and I'm using the ancestral protection, I'm using these 3-piece effects. So it's going to take 15% of the damage that otherwise will be taken by allies while gaining 15% damage reduction. So as you guys can expect, I have defense percentage on his gloves. And then let's keep checking all the other skills. So this will be the first one, and then it's going to cast this one. So since we'll be on the shield form, is getting this defense up. Okay, so if you can dispel this defense up, will be easier because it gets more 60% defense and 60% defense. And if we dispel this, we can do more damage. With this buff, we don't do so much damage. The next skill is going to be on the sword form, so it's going to deal lightning damage to the enemy with the highest attack. And that's alright, we have some good healing and attack penalty as well, but he's also getting some attack up. So just one thing, so he's going to, on this ultimate, he's going to get the defense up. The defense up will last for these first 10 seconds, and on this one he's getting this 30% attack up until his ultimate. So he's going, if you don't dispel this attack up, he's going to have 30% attack up when he's casting the ultimate. And the ultimate will be this one. He's going to deal lightning damage to all enemies and dispel all buffs from them, and then he's going to get 1 stack of total damage bonus permanently upon every dispelled buff. So using rally heroes here, it's really tricky. The aura ones are also tricky, but the rally ones are really tricky on this one because the rally buff will count as a buff. So with this, every time you're casting rally on your heroes, they are getting dispelled by this skill, and with this is getting stronger and stronger. So imagine if you have 4 or 3, imagine I'm using 3 aura heroes, so imagine if they have 3 with rally, is getting 3 buffs from that. And if you have like attack up or crit rate up, it's even more buffs, is dispelling and getting stronger. And we really need to use Radiance heroes on this one because it's the ones that do more damage to this boss. So talking about the strategy I'm using here, I'm using these 3 aura heroes. Okay, nothing to know about this, just 3 heroes doing damage. If you have better heroes, again, it doesn't mean if they are rally, because this boss, if you inflict the attack penalty and if you have a good healing, you should be fine. It does do as much damage as the ancient battlefield does, but still we need to do some damage. With these 3 aura heroes I can do 27 million. If you use them, you'll be able to do it as well. If you have better heroes, use them. So then the other trick I'm using, it's Clovis with this 3-piece effect. So he's got some defense percentage on his chest and his hands, and with this 3-piece effect of the Puppeteer's inspiration is going to give 50% of his defense to all our allies, so it's going to give some more defense stats to our team. And then I'm using this mythic chest on this guy. This mythic chest is important because it gives our these effects. The wearer has an additional 50% chance of dispelling one buff from the target when inflicting debuffs. So he's going to inflict two debuffs. He's going to inflict the defense penalty and attack penalty. So every time he's going to inflict this, he has a chance to dispel the attack up or the defense up from this boss. And he's also going to reduce their ultimate energy by 20%. So we are delaying his skills, and with this, he's not getting so much stronger over 5 minutes and will give us more time to do damage. And I'm using the attack aura. So let's start the fight and I'll talk about the gear. Karet, she's doing a really good damage, and on her I'm using Eyeball of the Giant. I'm using the aerial set with a chest attack percentage, and on gloves I'm using crit rate. Again, you don't really need to use a mythic gloves here. If you have legendary ones, you should be fine. Then crit damage here and some more attack or defense stats. It's up to you. The better gem you can use, better rune you can use here. Then the Dragonheir, she's also a really good damage dealer. I'm using the Manticore statue on her with chests with attack percentage and crit rates on gloves. Again, you can use a legendary. Then crit damage and HP and the one with better sets you can use. These ones are pretty simple. And then I'm using Narzilla. Narzilla is going to boost our heroes damage, but also is going to give a buff to them, so it's going to increase the damage from this boss as well. But we only have 3 epic heroes, 3 aura epic heroes, so these are the ones that I can use to achieve the 22 million damage. So I'm using this one, Dark Snail, because that's the one I can use. It's not going to increase any passive, but at least it's going to give us some more attack percentage. Chests with attack percentage and crit rate on gloves. And then here crit damage, and on this one some more attack. And lastly, I already talked about this, we are using this set to increase the defense of our allies, and this chest is really important if you can get this chest. This one is from Rot, you can get this from Rot, and this will be really important just to make sure you dispel some of the debuffs, some of those buffs from this boss. So at least 270 accuracy will be important for this guy. Okay, and some more defense stats. So if you don't get enough accuracy from your gear, you can change this one from defense percentage to accuracy. But yeah, this is it, and this ultimate will reduce the energy by 20% of the boss, so we'll give us more time to use our skills and do more damage. Also attack penalty, I don't have any timings on these guys, so it's just auto mode. And lastly, I already talked about Quarian as well. I'm using defense percentage on his hands just to make him a bit more tanky, because his ultimate only works with attack targets max HP, so doesn't make any difference. But the Mirror of the Living will help a lot, because when they are low HP, it's going to increase 40% of the amount healing to 30%. So, and then HP and more resistance here, because you really need to resist. You need more than 300 resistance if you want to resist all the time to the stuns of this boss, and will help a lot. And that's why I used this placement, because since Quarian is the one that is farthest, is going to receive the debuff, the stun debuff from this boss every time. So guys, as you can see, I did 27 million damage. 2 of the Aura heroes were the ones doing more damage. I had the other guy, the Narzilla, doing some damage, some buffs, giving some buffs to our Aura heroes, and with this she was helping a lot to increase our damage. So guys, this was the shift challenge, the Case Shadows Lighting, the one that takes more damage from the Radiance characters. This one, I don't think it's really hard, but you really need these Aura heroes, and I'm sure you have not leveled up these ones at this moment. And you also need some scrolls if you want to increase the damage. If you have better heroes, like rally ones, that's legendary rally ones that do more damage, you can use them. If you are giving some attack penalty and a good healing and everything else to our heroes, I'm sure you're gonna survive for the 5 minutes. But keep in mind, if you have rally heroes, they are going to get more buffs, so they're gonna have the rally buffs and plus some attack up or crit rate up, and the boss will get stronger over time. So if you are using Clovis, it will help a lot to delay his buffs and also delay his skills and his damage, and will give more time for a healer to heal all your team, guys. So I hope this guide helped you guys. Don't forget to leave that like and subscribe. It helps me a lot, and I know that a lot of viewers are not subscribers yet, so make sure to press that subscribe button. It helps me a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.